Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly Pop Culture Wrap-Up. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I am Rockin Robbie Billups. This is the weekly Pop Culture Wrap-Up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. This week, pretty much all comic books, but let's get right into it. Marvel has acquired the comic book publishing rights to Planet of the Apes. Now, this could have been viewed as somewhat expected, right? This is a Fox property that was swallowed up by Disney, much like Alien and Predator. Those were over at Dark Horse Comics. Now they are residing over at Marvel Comics. Marvel's been publishing Alien books for about a year now. Before that, they got Conan back in, right? That's cool, but they've lost Conan. That's not really related to the Fox Disney thing, so I don't even know why I brought that up. But the Predator series is about to be starting, and now we've got Planet of the Apes. So Marvel will be publishing Planet of the Apes comics. That property was most recently at Boom Studios. I know a lot of people had a lot of good things to say about the Planet of the Apes books from Boom. I barely read any of them, but Planet of the Apes has never been my favorite franchise, but it will be interesting to see what Marvel does, what creative team they put on here, what artists, what writers. It would be interesting to see what direction they're going to go with this. They also have really announced Midnight Suns as a 5-issue series starting in September. It will be written by Ethan Sachs with artwork by Luigi Zagaria. I'm not familiar with that artist, but I am familiar with Ethan Sachs. His work's been pretty solid, so he's dependable. This is an interesting team for the Midnight Suns, and if you notice, it's Suns with a U. So I think that's like referencing a recent video game or something that they released. Maybe it's an app game. I don't even know, right? But this does have Blade, but it also has Magic and Wolverine and a few other people, including the Spirit Rider, like the Native American iteration of Ghost Rider. So it's an interesting lineup. I'm happy that there's Blade. I'm happy they're doing Midnight Suns, but I would just rather have a Blade book or have like the OG Midnight Suns. Like, why is Wolverine in there? Why is Wolverine in there? Why? To sell comics, that's why. But it's cool that Blade's in another book, so that's cool. 5 issues, though, just 5 issues. Then we got Tim Drake Robin debuting in September from DC Comics. This is a spinning out of the recent Batman Urban Legends Tim Drake story where he was exploring his sexuality, and then they, I think, reprinted that in the DC Pride story, or the DC Pride Tim Drake special or something like that. But he is getting his own series, Tim Drake Robin. Tim Drake is my favorite Robin, so I'm excited that he's got the spotlight in his own title again. We will see. It is written by Megan Fitzmartin with artwork by Riley Rossmo. Not the team I would pick, but I will definitely check it out because, like I said, I love me some Tim Drake. Superman Warworld Apocalypse is a one-shot coming in August, at the very tail end of August, from DC Comics, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with artwork by Brandon Peterson. This is the culmination of the Warworld saga, all in one big one-shot. That will lead to a 6-part crossover between Action Comics and Tom Taylor's Superman, Son of Kal-El, where Clark Kent Kal-El is returning to Earth, and that is all setting up the big womp in 1050, Action Comics 1050. Of course, we know he's only coming back and to die in Justice League 75 temporarily, as I'm sure he will return at the end of Dark Crisis, as many deaths probably will, because that's how Crisis Event goes. That being said, Philip Kennedy Johnson's done a really fantastic job building up this saga, so I'm excited to see it reach its conclusion and be able to step back and revisit the whole thing all in one run, because to me it's been a bit stretched, but I feel like maybe if I read the run all together, like in a weekend or an evening or something like that, it would probably iron out some of those problems I had. Vanish is a new comic book coming from Image in September, written by Donny Cates with artwork by Ryan Stegman. This was released, I believe, last year or earlier this year already on their Substack, Kids Love Chains, KLC, whatever, right? But it is seeing print from Image in September. It's supposed to be in the vein of like 90s superhero type stuff. I have not had a chance to read it, but I am excited to check it out because Stegman and Cates work really well together. This seems like a book right up their alley. Then we got Shock Shop. That was hard to say. Shock Shop from Dark Horse Comics, a 4-issue flip book horror anthology by Cullen Bunn, Danny Luckert, and Leah Lays. This is a flip book, right? And it's an anthology. So there's going to be 2 stories told over 4 issues. And the idea is like you flip the comic, there's one story, you flip it, there's another story. I don't know if they're supposed to tie together or something like that. That would be really neat. Aside from that, it would just be like a 2-in-1, but we've seen stuff like that before, which is actually a cool idea. So I'm excited to check this out. Cullen Bunn does real good jobs with these short-form horror stories, so I'm excited to dive into that. From Dynamite in September, we have The Ninjettes. This is spinning out of the pages of Jennifer Blood. It is a gang of young ninja women. Seems really cool. Then we got Fred Van Lente and Joseph Cooper are going to be the creative team on that one. Also in September from Dynamite, we have Vampirella Mind Warp, flipping us back to Vampirella's debut year, 1969, dudes, and some evil witch or something is trying to take over her body, but it's time traveling back to 1969 and something like that. So that's going to be a cool kind of throwback for Vampirella. That's going to be written by Jeff Parker with artwork by Benjamin Dewey. From IDW in September, we have Crashing, which is basically ER, but with superheroes. So we recently have ETER, then we have The Ward. So ETER is like ER, the show, but with aliens. And then The Ward is like ER with like Dungeons and Dragons. And so this is going to be like ER, but with superheroes? Anyway, we also got our very first image of Ryan Gosling as Ken from the upcoming Barbie movie. Why does this movie exist? I don't know, but we're just going to leave it at that. Alright, that's all we got for you this week. What's coming up here at PCP? First up, Dylan's Horror Show. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Horror Express, starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. I watched it. I have some thoughts. We'll talk about it. Rockin Robbie live on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, and then PCP Movie Night rolls on with Crew's Choice. It's Mike's Pick, Monday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll be talking about Saint Maud. That movie was awesome. It's on Paramount Plus. Go watch it. Movie's fantastic. Really cool. Cannot wait to talk about it. Anyway, thank you so much for checking out the video. Be sure to leave a comment down below on anything that we discussed today or anything that we did not. We really do appreciate you checking out the videos and liking, sharing, subscribing, all the support. And if you want to support even further, you can do so at patreon.com/PCP. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Station. Pop, pop, boom.